Bernard Arnault born is a French businessman, investor and art collector. He is the founder, chairman and CEO of Lvmh, the world's largest luxury goods company. Arnault is the richest person in the world, with an estimated net worth of $233 billion as of April 2024, according to Forbes. Arnault's entry into the luxury goods market was marked by his strategic acquisition of the financially struggling textile and retail conglomerate Boussac Saint Frères in 1984, which included the prestigious fashion house Christian Dior. His aggressive business strategies earned him the nickname, the Terminator, as he revitalized Dior and sold off other assets for profit. In 1987, he played a key role in the creation of Lvmh, Louis Vuitton, a global company in luxury goods, by merging Louis Vuitton with Moët Hennessy. Through a series of strategic acquisitions and investments, Arnault changed Lvmh into a major company in the luxury industry, overseeing significant growth and expansion into various sectors, including fashion, jewelry, watches, and wine. In July 1988, Arnault provided $1.6 billion to form a holding company with Guinness that held 24% of Lvmh shares. In response to rumors that the Louis Vuitton Group was buying Lvmh stock to form a blocking minority, Arnault spent $600 million to buy 13.5% more of Lvmh, making him Lvmh's largest shareholder. Lvmh had been created on the premise that the conglomerate would be too large for a single hostile raider. However, the premise failed to take into account internal takeover attempts. The fall became too large to ignore when Arnault had a differing strategic vision from Henri Racamar, Louis Vuitton's president. In January 1989, he spent another $500 million to gain control of a total of 43.5% of Lvmh shares and 35% of its voting rights, thus reaching the blocking minority that he needed to stop the dismantlement of the Lvmh group. After assuming leadership, Arnault led the company through an ambitious development plan, transforming it into one of the largest luxury groups in the world, alongside Swiss luxury giant Richemont and French-based Kering. In 11 years, annual sales and profit rose by a factor of 5, and the market value of Lvmh increased by a factor of 15. In July 1988, Arnault acquired Celine. That same year, he sponsored French fashion designer Christian Lacroix to advertise the company's luxury clothing line. Lvmh acquired Berluti and Kenzo in 1993, the same year Arnault bought out the French economic newspaper La Tribune. La Tribune never achieved the desired success, despite his €150 million citation needed investment, and he sold it in November 2007 to buy a different French economic newspaper, Les Echos, for $240 million. In 1994, Lvmh acquired the perfume from Guerlain. In 1996, Arnault bought out Loewe, followed by Marc Jacobs and Sephora in 1997. 5 more brands were also integrated into the group: Thomas Pink in 1999, Emilio Pucci in 2000, and Fendi, DKNY, and La Samaritaine in 2001. In 1998, with businessman Albert Frère, Arnault purchased Chateau Cheval Blanc in a personal capacity. Lvmh acquired Arnault's share in 2009 to add to the group's other wine property Chateau d'Yquem. From 1998 to 2001, Arnault invested in a variety of web companies such as Billionaire, Liberty Surf, and Zbank through his holding Europadweb. Group Arnault also invested in Netflix in 1999. In 2007, Blue Capital announced that Arnault owned jointly with the California property firm Colony Capital 10.69% of France's largest supermarket retailer and the world's second-largest food distributor Carrefour. In 2008, he entered the yacht business and bought Princess Yachts for €253 million. He subsequently took control of Royal Van Lint Shipyard for an almost identical amount. On March 7, 2011, Arnault announced the acquisition of 50.4% of family-owned shares of the Italian jeweler Bulgari to make a tender offer for the rest, which was publicly owned. The transaction was worth $5.2 billion. By January 2018, Arnault had led the company to record sales of $42.6 billion in 2017, 13% over the previous year, as all divisions turned in strong performances. That same year, the net profit increased by 29%. In November 2019, Arnault planned to acquire Tiffany & Company for approximately $16.2 billion. The deal was expected to close by June 2020. Lvmh then stated in September 2020 that the takeover would not proceed and that the deal was invalid because Tiffany handled the business during the COVID-19 pandemic. Subsequently, Tiffany filed suit against Lvmh, asking the court to compel the purchase or to assess damages against the defendant. Lvmh planned to countersue, alleging that mismanagement had invalidated the purchase agreement. Tiffany was paying millions in dividends to shareholders despite a financial loss of $32 million during the pandemic. Upon examination of financial records, Arnault discovered that some $70 million had already been paid out by Tiffany, with an additional $70 million scheduled to be paid in November 2020. Lvmh filed a counterclaim against the court action commenced by Tiffany. A statement issued by Lvmh blamed Tiffany's mismanagement during the pandemic and claimed that it was burning cash and reporting losses. In late October 2020, Tiffany and Lvmh agreed to the original takeover plan, though at a slightly reduced price of nearly $16 billion, a minor reduction of 2.6% from the aforementioned deal. The new deal reduced the amount paid per share by Lvmh from the original price of $135 to $131.50. Lvmh completed the purchase of Tiffany in January 2021. Under Arnault's leadership, Lvmh has grown to become the largest company by market capitalization in the Eurozone, with a record of €313 billion, $382 billion. As of May 2021, Arnault has promoted decisions toward decentralizing the group's brands as a business strategy. As a result of these measures, brands under the Lvmh umbrella such as Tiffany are still viewed as independent firms with their history. Arnault has said that brands like Louis Vuitton and Dior are successful because they have these two aspects, which may be contradictory: they are timeless, and they are at the utmost level of modernity.